lets out a big huff and then says, "I'm so sorry, but my ex from 6 months ago has been harassing me ever since we broke up. She just can't let go, and she's been calling me and coming up with a million reasons to try and talk to me." First alarm bells started going off in my head. I've had exes harass me too, but I usually blocked them or reported them, and then they finally gave up. Why wouldn't he just do those things? But he was so intriguing, and like I said earlier, I ignored all the red flags in my younger years. The phone would not stop ringing, and his text alerts were constantly beeping. I told him why not just block her number or turn your phone off, that would drive me absolutely mad. He said that he had already blocked over 100 of these pinger numbers that she had made to call him, and at this point it was just easier to be patient and just hope that she'll eventually give up. He eventually turned his phone on silent, and he went into more about their relationship and why it ended. He said that she would just show up wherever he was at when they were together. She would show up to his work to spy on him. She would show up to the gym. She would even show up to his parents' house when he was there visiting. If they weren't together at all times, she would lose her mind and make his life a living hell. Even when they were together, she was so clingy. She would even get upset if he would go to the bathroom or not put his arm or hand on her at all times. He said that he put up with it for so long because he felt bad for her, as she also lived a very horrible childhood. Her dad had left her when she was 5, and her mom was a drug addict. Besides her grandma, he was all she had. He knew that she had abandonment issues, but just couldn't take it anymore. He was telling me how he felt so bad for her, and how he just really hoped that one day she'll meet someone, and that all of this will come to an end. I emphasize with Josh because I know what it was like for an ex to just not let go, but at the same time, it was unnerving. I'm not the confrontational type, and it was pretty scary the thought of someone's crazy ex being hung up on the guy that I'm interested in. We finally got off the subject, and we went on to lighter, less serious conversations. I told him I was getting hungry, and I was going to head back home to make some dinner. Josh then smiles and says, "Well, I was going to do the same actually. Would you possibly want to come to my place? I can cook us both something." I never really had a guy offer to cook me dinner this early on. It was usually take me out to dinner, so the thought was kind of romantic in my head, so I agreed. His apartment complex was literally the neighboring apartment complex across the street from mine, so I thought that was pretty convenient that I wasn't that far from home when it was time to leave after dinner. The night seemed to be going absolutely perfect. The dinner he made was one of my favorites, chicken stir fry, followed by more long conversations about life and where we stood on religion, as well as politics and those deep conversations that really get you to know someone's character, then followed by laughing and smiles. Until things got quite intense, and before I knew it, we were kissing, followed by some passionate lovemaking. During this, I kept hearing a light tapping coming from the living room. Not wanting to awkwardly interrupt the mood, I didn't say anything, and the tapping started getting louder and faster. Josh jumped up and then said, "What is that noise? Do you hear that?" The tapping sound went away all of a sudden,